Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Pensacola, Florida, it's time for Pensacola Business Radio. Now, here are your Business Radio X hosts.
You can say hello.
Oh, hi.
I'll hit play now. Ready?
Yeah.
What if every problem that you think you have is a game and it's not real?
I haven't had a date in 16 years.
Oh, wow. Do you think who you are is this linear story? Like, I'm someone who's stuck in this situation, or I'm someone who has this job I don't like, or I'm someone who makes $40,000 a year, and your mind goes, okay, that's my story. I'm in this problem. I'm stuck. I'm in debt. Well, if that story goes away, then you go away because you've attached an I to the story. So if it dies, then I die.
All right. So welcome, everybody. We're winding up.
This is episode 6.
Episode 6, but we have a few more before Kyle Cease, who's going to be in Pensacola on Monday, March 25th from 6 to 9 at the Sanger Theater. Tickets are $29, up to $99. If you want to be up close and personal and, look at his beautiful blue eyes that just draw.
Are they blue?
Literally,
Are they blue?
they're
They are
like
blue.
cloud
They're gorgeous
blue.
eyes.
And
Have you heard of him before, Kolleen?
I've seen the YouTube. I've YouTubed a bunch of stuff. But no, I haven't seen him. But several of our people that come to the meetings have seen him
Really?
live.
Yeah, I
I've
didn't-
seen girls
it's a-
posting like crazy. And so I'm the director of booking and marketing at the Sanger Theater. I'm responsible for bringing most of the great shows that we have at the Sanger. And my guest today is Kolleen Chesley. Kolleen is the founder of Powerful Women of the Gulf Coast, which is a great group that meets at Gulf Coast Kids House on the first Friday of the month. And they also meet in Gulf Breeze on the third Friday at
Beef O'Brady's.
Beef O'Brady's. Okay, it's moved since the last time I went there. And so, Kolleen, welcome. Can you tell me a little bit about you? Colleen's got a very cool story. You guys are going to be surprised because she's one of those people. If you need somebody to help you with something, ask her because she can't say no.
Yeah, I'm not really good at that.
I'm going to school her on it a little bit.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, bring it on. 5 projects? Sure. In the next month? Absolutely.
I
I'll
signed
help.
up for 2 committees last night at Impact.
Did you? You are an overachiever. I've never done 2 committees at one time. That's awesome.
Health and wellness.
Are you? I'm
And
looking at
arts
health
and
and
culture.
Oh, yeah, those are good ones.
I might have to retract from arts and culture because of the conflict, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I'll talk
Well,
to
and sometimes it's not bad to sign up for 2 and then go and get the feel for the room. Get the
Yeah.
vibe of who else is there.
Yeah. So anyway, tell us about your story, Kolleen.
Sure. And I don't share this story that often. Most of the time I share the story of Powerful Women of the Gulf Coast and how that got started. But Kathy asked me to share a little more of my personal journey. So in an effort to try to keep it within about 3 minutes, I was going to say 3 months. We don't have time for 3 months, do we? I could stretch it out that long for sure. But 3 minutes. So I was born in a long time ago, and I was adopted. I am going to start from the very beginning, but I'll make it go. You didn't know that
I did
either?
not know that.
I didn't know that
Okay.
either. I knew about the
So
other
this
stuff.
has a lot to do with how I've evolved, though. So this is cool, and I appreciate you letting me tell this story. So I was adopted at 9 days old, and the family that adopted me was military. My mom wanted to have children. Both my mom and dad wanted to have children super bad, and my mom had 4 miscarriages. So she couldn't have children. She basically got told, this is your only option is to adopt. They adopted me, and the weird thing is, or I guess the cool part of the story is, I was adopted on day 9 in Montana, and still to this day, there's a law in Montana that says if a child's not adopted within 10 days of birth, then they go into an orphanage for the first 3 years of their life. And so I was adopted on day 9. So imagine how different my life would have been if I had been passed up and had to go in an orphanage for 3 years.
Yeah, your life would have been total. Actually,
Totally
I don't think your
different.
life would have been different because you're the kind of person that takes that kind of struggle and makes it positive. You're not
Absolutely.
Lucy out of the Peanuts.
No.
You're a positive person. Well,
Yeah.
We'll see.
And we'll
Now, I
see.
think that's part of your soul.
It really
How
is.
you react
It
to
really
things.
is.
Don't you, Keith?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's part of it's a fiber of your being.
Yeah.
It is. It is. And that's why I wanted to kind of start from that very beginning. So the good thing was the parents that adopted me, it was a military family. So, and an officer, my dad was a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. So we were raised very well. Yes, I got into a situation that did very positive for me. But growing up, I struggled with it emotionally. I didn't understand why I was adopted. I didn't understand why my natural mother or natural father didn't want me. And that's how it looks to a child when they're given up to adoption, is that they aren't wanted. So going through my entire life, I felt abandoned. I felt not good enough. I felt not lovable. I felt like I was less. And so I think that's what's given me all my resilience, all my determination, all my optimism, is because I have battled from the very beginning, even though I didn't need to, but I've always wanted to be better, to be more, to be, the greatest. And so being rebellious, I did a lot of bad things. I won't go into detail. At a later date, maybe I'll share more. But I did a lot of bad things. I was kicked out of schools. I got into fights. I dyed my
She
hair.
can throw a mean right hook, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I was not a good little girl. So
and I'm sure the lieutenant colonel just loved that.
That was even worse.
Yeah.
That, being raised by a very strict lieutenant colonel, military family, I went way against that. But the good thing is I found some things that helped me understand and helped me really put that energy into a positive thing. And one of it was skateboarding. So when I was still in high school, I found skateboarding, and it was something that I gravitated towards because, of course, all the bad kids skateboarded too. So it was the kids that had long hair and tattoos and, were the rebels skateboarded. So I naturally gravitated towards that sport, and I didn't like a lot of team sports. So I did something where I could excel and not be challenged against, have to work as a team or be challenged in competitions or different things like that. So I was a ramp skater, and, I hung out with some guys that were pretty tough, and I had to do some tough things. And I remember still, I would skateboard in Pensacola. I broke my ankle one day, and I never told anybody because I didn't want them to think I was a wimp. So I skated for another 3 hours with a broken ankle and I knew not to take my shoe off, because as soon as you take a shoe off, then it's going to swell. Right. I'd never get my shoe back on. So I skated for 3 hours and just pretended like things were great. I cranked up my AC/DC a little bit louder. And then when I got in my car, I cried and drove home. And then a week later, they had to re-brake it because I didn't. Yeah, that was not fun.
Oh, especially military doctors.
Oh, yeah. That was not good.
I know about those military
Not
doctors.
good.
So, unlike me, I was sexually abused as a child. I retreated and started to gain weight because of it. You rebelled. So you went external and I went internal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
I never thought I drew that parallel. That's really cool.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you grow when you do these things.
Yes,
This
you
is
do.
true.
Yes,
And
you
if you
do.
don't, the universe will continue to kick your butt until you do.
Yes, it will.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Well, that's really cool. Well, tell us about Powerful Women of the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, so skateboarding taught me how to be a standout and to harness that rebellious energy into something that made me feel special and made me feel unique and made me feel like I could do things. So after high school, and the funny thing is in college, I actually started, they didn't have a skateboarding club at UWF where I was going to college, and so I started a skateboarding club. And I look back on that was the very first time I exhibited leadership skills. Was to start a club for skateboarding. And needless to say, it was not popular. The student council didn't appreciate more skateboarding on campus. So it ended up kind of going through a tough time, and I don't know if it ever resurfaced. I'm sure they have a club now out there. But that was, of course, 20-something years ago. Then I developed a financial career. So again, I was in something that was male-dominated, and I had to be a strong female in that particular industry. And getting out of the financial industry, or actually during the middle of the financial industry, I needed to find clients. And I had a hard time finding clients the traditional ways. I didn't want to cold call. I didn't like doing dinner seminars And I didn't want to, I didn't have a database of people I could just call up and ask them to transfer hundreds of thousands of dollars for me, to be managed. So I did it the what I thought was the way that worked was networking. Again, an outside thing that I did. I went around and attended chamber events and community events and just shook hands and met people and built my financial career that way.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm in a male dominated industry too. Most of the it's turning though. Most of the bookers they're starting to hire the women who are in marketing because the GMs don't know the marketing side because it's traditionally been the GMs, right. And they don't know the marketing. And why not let the marketing girl do it because she knows what's going to sell? And most of us are girls because we're good at it.
Oh yeah.
Keith would be a good booker.
I would?
Yeah, you would.
Okay, you say so.
You're a good marketer. You'd be a good
I try.
booker. I mean, you really have to know the market. You have to know who's going to. We haven't been on air the whole time?
Yeah, we have. You need to plug the light in.
Now we are officially.
You have to know the market. You have to know, what niche you're going to go. I have gentlewoman agreements with the IP and Hard Rock that if they have a show and we have a show, because they were blocking us out, I will not advertise in Mobile. I will go east. And so that's kind of working. And now I can get shows cheaper because they're in Biloxi. And they're already in the market, so
this was the same theory we used when we started the punk rock scene in the 90s here.
That's
Because it was like the pit stop.
Yeah.
Right? And so instead
It's a
of
great
going a whole day
place.
without pay and having to travel, they would stop here halfway, get to do a show, get paid
Sluggos.
something, and then
where else
on their
was
way.
it? Sluggos and
Night Owl, Slogos, Handlebar,
Oh wow.
Colton's Garage,
Oh,
JC's
yeah.
building.
Plenty of garages.
Yeah,
Some
plenty of
VFW,
garages.
a couple
Lots of
VFWs.
garages.
Funny. Oh yeah, the VFW.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really
Yeah, anywhere
get
we
into
could fit
punk.
people in that they would let
The
us
Rat
have.
House.
Yeah.
She knows all about this stuff.
She was in the scene.
So if
I
I
was.
did punk rock, we'd get quite a few
I think,
people here.
I think there's still a pretty decent
I
crowd
don't know that
lives
I
here.
could get Doug, the
have to get some
GM, to
old
let
school
me
punk
do
rock.
it though.
I don't
Call
think
Colton and let him know.
Well,
but see, they're all older people.
They are.
now,
They're
like you.
old.
So
But they're
y'all aren't
also
going to
here.
trash the theater.
No, they
No.
won't. They'll actually,
Sit down and watch the show.
So you skated.
I was going to say they might actually stand up. That might be the most.
You skated with Dano,
I skated with a lot of people. I don't remember a lot of names.
Dan Dunn.
Oh, I remember Dan Dunn,
Yeah.
who's a chef now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
that
went to school
and
together. Where'd you go to school?
UWF.
No, where'd
well,
you go to
high school was Choctaw over in Fort Walton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
but I came over here for high school. For college. And then we were sitting around one day, and one of my friends was like, we should start a girl band. And she was like, I play guitar. And then the other girl was like, I sing. And then another one was like, I play bass. And then they all looked at me, and I was like, I don't play anything. And they were like, you're our drummer. And so I, that weekend, bought a drum set and learned how to play drums.
Oh, that's so fun.
That's how I ended up on bass, and they were like, "We need a bass player, and you
Well,
play
bass
guitar,
is
so you either play
easy.
bass or get out of the band."
Oh, that's
true.
true. I could be a
Bass
singer.
is not easy. Don't you say that?
It's
It's
3
easier than drums.
chords. Is
I-
it? No.
Sorta.
The drummer's the person that carries everybody else's equipment,
This is true.
literally.
This is true.
It was so funny. So I had my birthday party, my 50th, at the Opera Center, and nobody showed up.
Oh.
It was Christmas, and people were traveling. There was like 8 people there, but we had the best time.
I was going to come.
and we had Southern Breeze was the band, and I was drinking, of course. I was drinking wine though. I wasn't drinking alcohol, and I'm like, I want to sing, and I got it, and I started singing, and Deborah Dunlap's like, you need to be in worship, and I'm like, what? In the worship team, and I'm like, what? And so I practice now.
There you go.
A
You could
lot.
start a band.
You could.
No,
Don't be scared.
I'll be acting and singing and on the Food Network. I'll have an acting, singing Food Network show. How about that?
The singing chef. Do they have a singing chef?
No.
They do. He's a
Who?
Muppet. Doo-doo-doo.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
my favorite dude. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Sven, Chef Sven.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved him. Well, Trisha
Throwing parsley
Yearwood, but
everywhere.
she's not, I'm not trained either. I'm self-taught.
Right. And very good at that too, by the way.
Thank you.
So
I
somehow
just-
we always end up talking about food
We
on the show.
every show, even Brian LeBlanc, who doesn't can't taste anything, we talked about food on his show.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna have a food show one day. Me and Keith.
Apparently.
Me
Yeah.
and Keith.
We've been thinking about it.
Yeah, but so it sounds like you are. I'm gonna analyze you a little bit.
Oh, okay.
You're
tuned.
looking
Get ready.
you're looking for like that approval or that belonging that you didn't have from your.
Well, yeah, definitely. That's how Powerful Women started.
Yeah.
I thought I was the only one. So I'm an introvert, but I also need people around me to validate whatever my message is. Like, I'm not a narcissist or somebody that says, I have the best ideas in the world. I don't care what you think. I like to be the person to stand up and say, I have this great idea. Do y'all want to jump on board? Do y'all want to agree with it too? Because if the group doesn't, then maybe there's a better idea out there. So I'm always looking, it's not I don't think about it as validation. I look at it for taking my ideas and then accelerating to even a better idea. And that's what you get with collaboration. That's why collaboration is such a cornerstone with Powerful Women of the Gulf Coast, because if people can't jump on board with what we're doing, well then maybe we don't have the best ideas.
Yeah, if it doesn't resonate, then Kyle Cease, sales are going good, but we need people to get out there and buy tickets because
I think it looks
they're
awesome.
waiting to the last minute and it could cause it not to come. So,
okay.
the sales and the people are clicking. They're just not clicking purchase.
They're waiting until the day before.
I know, which
They
is
always
crazy.
do.
This is
I
town.
know. I
That's
know.
the way
But,
it is.
and there is a lot going on, but I think one of the good things is you don't have to take a day off. Maybe get off, 30 minutes early, grab a bite to eat, and come on downtown because it's 6 to 9. So you're not missing a day of work. You're not missing a day of, selling or, brokering a deal or, making connections in your day job. You come down to the Sanger and make connections with 1,600 people.
Yeah. And you know what? 3 hours sounds like a long time, but it's going to go
not.
fast.
Oh my gosh, you're going to say, well,
Yeah.
no.
I think Blue Man Group was like 3 hours, and it was over before you knew it because they keep you interactive.
Let me tell you something. They stayed in character the whole time.
I bet.
Like, I was in the lobby, and the dude came up, and he was like, I didn't know, and he came up, and he was like, and I'm like,
Were they all in blue?
Yeah, I screamed. He had a suit on, though, a business jacket on. These, I think they're coming next year. No,
Oh,
Blue
God,
Man
I
Group
hope so.
went
They
away.
were awesome.
Blue Man Group went away. They couldn't make it work.
Are they something different?
Well, I know it. We got cats coming.
You're getting good at this.
No, that's jam. I don't do that. I
No.
just sell it. We just put Jersey Boys on the books. Margaritaville, which is going to be so fun. I knew that wasn't going to last on Broadway. They don't get it up there.
Yeah.
But the Paraheads
You do have
down
to live
here,
south of the Mason-Dixon.
Paraheads are going to go crazy for that. In fact, if you want tickets for that show, you better get a Broadway season
No.
subscription. I mean, they're not on sale yet, and this hasn't even been
How much
announced.
are Kyle's tickets?
Kyle's tickets are $29.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, if you want to sit up front, they're $99. I would sit up front.
I'm totally going to participate.
I'm spoiled.
I'm raising my hand.
No, you're not. You're videoing.
Well, I'm going to participate too.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
we can,
excited.
We'll get point of view.
there you go. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to get to work on that. But yeah, I can't wait to meet him. I can't wait to hear his story because I really haven't heard his story. I've heard a little bit of it. He was a comedian, and it wasn't fulfilling him. He got tired.
So he doesn't
of,
do the comedian stuff anymore?
He mixes comedy in with
Right.
the show, but he doesn't.
I've heard
no.
that. He doesn't perform as a comedian anymore.
No, it wasn't fulfilling him. He
Interesting.
got tired of being on the road, away from his family, in comedy club after comedy club in front of 200 people. 400, 500. Comedy clubs aren't big.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just got old, and it wasn't fulfilling him. And one of his mentors challenged him because he wanted to do this, and one of his mentors challenged him and said, "Go rent a big theater." And he's like, "But I'm only selling 200 tickets." He's like, "Go rent a big theater." So he rented a big theater. It was like 2,000 or 1,200 capacity. And he's like, "How am I going to fill this?" And he gave a radio station 1,000 tickets. Wow. And then they started promoting, and they were gone. And he's like, "Oh, shit. I got to rent a bigger." That's what he said. "Oh, shit. I got to rent a bigger." Sorry for the cuss word,
That's
but
okay. Yeah.
Bleep.
iTunes will be okay.
that's all right.
Yeah.
I got to rent a bigger venue. And he did, and he sold it out. And that's
And then a bigger one, and a bigger one,
Yeah,
and a bigger one.
and
Some of
that's-
the audiences you see on these YouTube
Yeah.
videos, they're huge.
4,500.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, honestly, you really should keep it at that size because the larger you get,
The less effective it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to keep it pretty intimate. So he's either going to have to travel more or charge higher prices,
Yeah, or
which is
stream it.
probably going to be.
Call me. I know how.
That is how I would I would give him advice is to charge higher prices, and because he can get it. I mean, Tony.
Yeah, but I think that's the cool part about it is that even for his like 3-day program or whatever, it's like $30. I mean, you can't beat that, you know. And if self-improvement is really your mission and you're really coming from the right place, then that's awesome. That backs up exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I think that's what the three of us do is we just say, all right, we're going to do it.
Yep.
And we make it happen.
Yep.
You know, and I mean, there's so much stuff that I want to do, and it's like,
you'll never get it done.
no, somebody keeps like, no, we need to wait. And it's like, no, now's the time to do it. And being held back is just, it's tough for me because I'm like, you know, I don't like being around negative people. And it, you know, staff meeting, somebody was saying, I'm like, why you gotta be so negative? You know, stop. It's going to sell. It's just, you know, so.
Haters are going to hate.
Well, and you know, it is kind of sad, though. I mean, and not to analyze this presentation, but there are a lot of people out there that don't want to improve.
Yeah.
Or they're scared.
Right. Or they're scared, or they're not ready, or because that's happened to me in my life. I've made paradigm shifts where it's like, you know, I had a good friend get killed in an auto accident. And I remember when I got told that he died, I was like, wow, he's got a beautiful family, his kids, you know, all these other things he was going to do in his life. And all of a sudden, when I was talking out loud about it, I said, imagine all the things I haven't done in my life. And in that moment, it's like, you're in trouble now because you just said it out loud. Now you got to take care of your life. And I was in a long-term relationship that I broke up with that guy like the next day and quit my job working for a corporate and went back into being my own salesperson. And you know, some people aren't ready to do that. Some people aren't ready to...
Well, they're scared.
Right, to make that massive of a change when they realize something's not working.
And I think it's the people that are scared grew up in households where they weren't edified. You know, either their parents, there was abuse or alcoholism or, you know, something like that. My mom was one of my biggest cheerleaders, you know, and she would always say, I want you to lose weight. You know, I'm going to pay for you to have, and I didn't want to have it back then. I was scared. You know, and if she could see me now, oh my gosh, but she's been gone since 2001, so she sees me.
Yeah, she does.
She sees me.
Yes, she does.
And you know, and my other mother who just passed away, she was my next biggest cheerleader, you know, and they see me though, and they're cheering me on and whispering in somebody's ear for me and helping me pursue. Oh, look.
Pursuing your passion.
Can you see that?
Yeah,
Pursue your passion, which is the 7th Annual Women's Business Conference celebrating National Business Women's Week. October 17th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Sanders Beach Community Center. Yeah. It's early bird rate is $69 right now, and it's going to be at Sanders Beach. I said that. I haven't been in a couple of years. I think I've been traveling when that's happening.
Could be.
But I went to the first. I've been to a couple, and they're really, really good. It's not, you know, something put together that you're not going to get anything out of. You're going to come away, you know, inspired. You're going to make great connections, just like you will at Kyle Cease. You're going to, you know, learn a little bit about how to move forward to go after what, you know, you're shooting for. I was at Business Boutique, which is Dave Ramsey's women's entrepreneur conference.
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. I think you can go for $59.
Nice. Where did you go?
Nashville.
Oh, very
I'm
cool.
going if you want to ride with us. My sister-in-law's going. I sit in the VIP seats because I'm spoiled. I got to be up front. No, I got to be up front. No, you pay for it. And Sarah Jakes was there. It's T.D. Jakes' daughter.
Oh.
And she was up there, and she was talking, and she was basically prophesying. And she says, there's some of you in here that are going to be speaking next year. Hello. There's some of you in here that are going to be writing a book next year. Hello. And it's like, wow, this is wild. Mm-hmm. That was a transformational conference. Not
That's
a
really
motivational,
cool.
Transformational. It was really good.
Kidding.
And so, you know, if you don't want to go to Nashville and you only want to pay $29, $19 if you're a first responder, a student, or any kind of military, active duty, retired, a veteran. If you're a veteran, you got to bring your DD-214 with you to the box office. You have to show proper identification. And when I mean first responders, I mean police, firemen, paramedics, EMTs, corrections officers, all of those. A lot of people forget about corrections officers, and I think first responders really need this because they go through a lot. I mean, imagine
a lot to deal with all that stress.
Imagine the PTSD they go through on a daily basis. I mean, corrections officers is the second highest rate of suicide.
I believe it.
Wow.
I think you become sort of numb to it after a while.
You just
which is
drink.
not good. Like
you drink,
right? Yeah,
I mean, really, or you find something else to forget. You know, I mean, they can't do anything else because they have testing.
Yes, they need to be on the top of their game. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All day long.
So I can't wait for the Battle of the Badges this weekend at the Maritime Park. That's going to be fun. I heard there were a couple corrections
so many events
teams
coming up. Like I don't even know how to make them all. Really
yeah,
don't.
no kidding.
So
This
I've
is
got to
time.
go print
like
some
blown up.
flyers for Culinary Fight Club to take that out to.
What do you have going on, Colleen?
We got.
That's a huge
I
list
talked
right
about
there.
these.
Yeah, I
Some
know.
of
We
them.
have our
I didn't
painting
talk
with a
about the
twist.
classes.
Yeah, we've got our
You have to do
classes.
that.
So Power Up. So that's really cool. That's gaining popularity. So we do the classes. There's 12 of them, and they're $20 each. And we go through a series of things that would be effective for anyone in business. The things that were the more School of Hard Knocks stuff. You know, we don't teach how to sell things because that's what everybody gets taught by the company they're representing. But we teach the things like how to choose what networking event to attend instead of just attending the one that fits in your calendar.
Let me know if you need somebody.
Oh, yeah, we always need people. So
you can see that I can talk.
I'm telling you. No, we have, we've kind of perfected this over the years. So we go through classes on networking, marketing, sales skills, and business efficiency. And it's really geared for somebody that really needs some help in those areas. So I call it more of a beginners or a, intermediate type of a class. But it's got some really cool information. It's all the stuff I used in my 25 years in the financial industry.
Keith's given me a lot of efficiency stuff like Trello, and
yeah,
the key to using those things
is
using them.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yep. That's the key. If you don't use the tools that are presented to you, you're going to continue to make the same mistakes over and over again.
Yeah, I figured out today, last night, how to automate people booking on the calendar. It goes right into my CRM, so now I can keep track of all of them.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, you know how much time that took off my hands?
Oh, that's huge.
I've been putting
What's
it
your
off.
CRM?
I use Pipedrive for one of them, and then I use the one that comes with GoDaddy for the other.
There's an email marketing company that does retargeting and stuff like that. It's called Infusionsoft, and they were at Business Boutique.
Yeah,
I was impressed. Are
that's
they?
cool stuff. I mean, when they start getting AI and all that stuff, and they're talking to people, and I mean, that's what we're doing with LinkedIn on our end for guest acquisition.
Keith could talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Infusionsoft, if you don't know this, Kathy, Infusionsoft you can get free as a 501c3. And that's a very expensive program.
You can also get $10,000 a month in Google ads.
Google ad grants.
Really?
Yeah,
and then you have to pay.
I don't want to put Google ads on my website, though.
And then you have to pay somebody about $10,000 a month to manage your Google ad grants. No, not quite.
It's not that
but
much.
It's complicated.
I'm going to pay Morgan to do it.
There you go.
Or use the
there
software.
You go.
There you go. I really don't want Google ads on my blog, though. That's how I want it.
You don't have to put it on your. I mean, you can use it to.
Oh, in the
you
email
market other people.
For advertising you.
Oh,
yeah, you don't have to. It's not.
Looks like
it's
I'm gonna be working on a 501c3.
Whatever the other one's called. Yeah.
That's funny. All right, I need to stop talking about my stuff because the Center Theater's paying for this. Kyle Cease is paying for this. But we're here to promote, everybody else too, because all of this stuff just feeds into what Kyle teaches. He talks about relationships and about the words that you use and, what you is in your heart is what you echo out. Speaking of our guest we had, yesterday. I was going to say a few days ago, but you just ruined it.
That's all right.
That's all right.
We're back to back here.
And we're making up. So if you have unforgiven, relationships or things in your life, you're not full. Your heart's not full. And once you resolve that, I mean, it's just like there are things that are just doors are being opened for me. Like Jasmine that I met one day, and I met the guy from Christian surfers, and we were talking about collaborating on some concerts, and Christian the surfers are the same as the skateboarders, really.
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of skateboarders surf too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, you're
very
just
sort
street
of the same
surfing.
physics.
They're just a little tanner, and they have a little more blonde hair.
Yeah, and more wrinkles.
And less baggy jeans.
Yeah, definitely more wrinkles. And
Less
they're
baggy
sandy.
Yeah.
They're sandy. They're gritty. Dan Dunn skateboarded and he surfs. And he's an amazing artist too.
Yeah.
He's moved out of the area though, didn't he?
No, he owns Big Top Brewery.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's stuck around.
Right down the post office. And if you have not been there, I'll give a shout out for Dano. I mean, the food is amazing. The beer is delicious. They have this peanut butter and jelly beer.
Awesome.
They do. They have more specialty like beers.
They showed the strawberry beer before gallery night last month, and I went in to get one. It won't be ready for 4 weeks, so I'm getting me a strawberry beer tonight.
You ready tonight?
That's right.
Yeah.
At gallery night?
I don't know that I'm going to do. I might just walk for gallery night just real quick, but we're going to go over to Smoking in the Square.
Oh, that's right. See,
I
it's
know.
all doubled up.
I know.
It's this time of year.
I'm running out of
Everything
hard drive
happens.
space for all the film.
I know. So, but yeah.
So that's why the Kyle Cease thing being in a Monday night is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mondays are slow around here.
Mondays
yeah.
are slow.
Yeah.
It's kind of eerie.
I mean, if you have kids, you're going to have to get a sitter. But I tell you, this show is for anybody that's in sales, who is an entrepreneur. If you're a doctor or a nurse, that's all about relationships for sure.
If for kids, I would say 13 and up would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think anything younger than that, you may not, just because you don't know what people are going to
Depending upon who your parents are.
Yeah.
Because Chris did Unleash the Power Within when he was 12.
Yeah, see? I think something that young would probably be pretty good for you.
Yeah. I mean,
if you're open to the
kiddo
lessons.
walked on, he's 30 now, but still, kiddo walked on hot coals when he was 12.
Wow.
And I have a picture of us. I wish I could find it. We both put our feet together because we both had burns in the same place. It was really kind of cool.
That's
it was very cool.
Hot lava.
They were hot coals, and they, you're supposed to chant cool moss, cool moss. You're focusing on the cold grass at the end. And they had drum. I mean, it was freaky.
Yeah, it's all kinds of psyching you out so that you just don't think about it.
It was, yeah.
It's amazing what your mind can do.
And it's like 10 feet. And then they spray your feet when you get off. But I still had a coal stuck between my little chubby toes.
Ouch.
That's a great event. And Kyle is very similar to Tony in his passions. He's a little bit more genuine,
Somebody
not
said
over
it the
the
other day.
top.
He was a mix between Tony Robbins and I can't remember who the other person was.
Zig
It's almost
Ziglar?
like and I want to say it was a female, and not to insult in any way, but I think he has both sides of the spectrum.
He's a little more sensitive.
Well, yeah, he's
Yes.
and very open. And in his communication style, it's not all man and masculine and harsh. And
Exactly.
he listens and his delivery's soft sometimes when it needs to be.
I could.
Well, I mean, look at him
in
the B-roll, the promo video. He's got a brown suit on. Who wears brown?
Charlie.
I mean, so he's taking it all the way into the colors that he wears because brown is relatable. I'm sure he wears brown and
Which is weird
gray.
because I would not find myself relating to brown, but it's
It
one of those
is.
psycho things.
It
right?
is, yeah.
Maybe.
Blue and red is power.
Yeah, I thought purple was power.
Purple is power.
Purple is royalty.
Yeah.
Purple's like
Green is
Royal
money.
power.
Yeah.
Crown jewel power.
Yeah. Crown jewel power.
Yellow is energy
Happy.
and
Yeah.
happy. Yeah. So he should wear brown and yellow like Charlie Brown.
Yeah, there you go.
That's hilarious.
There you go.
Downtown
He shows
Charlie
up
Brown.
in brown and yellow. You're gonna.
I've seen him. He wore a blue suit one time.
Yeah, I did see one of his videos.
Yeah.
Stop picking it.
So it's the glue's coming off.
I
Sorry.
know. Sorry.
The liquid Band-Aid.
I had to be his big sister.
It happens. I
mean, he's
fidget.
like my
It's
little
one of my
brother
things.
that's 2 years younger than me.
So you're we're kind of winding down here.
Yeah,
so.
no, we're good. We've really gotten off topic.
Where's
So
Kolleen? Where can they find information? Of all your
Powerful
stuff?
Women of the Gulf Coast. They can look at us on our website, powerfulwomengulfcoast.com, or we are on Facebook, Powerful Women of the Gulf Coast, and now we're on Instagram too. So
cool.
I'm pretty proud of that. Haven't done that for a long time.
I
but
didn't
it's
either. When it
working
first came out and they were talking about that, you could see where you, and I'm like, shut down, and I never went back to it. Now I'm like, everything's
What can
Instagram.
they see?
a long time ago, they could see where your pictures were taken. Like if you took a picture in your house.
Yeah, all the metadata was in it.
Because we didn't, the phones didn't have the ability to shut that off back then. But now you can.
Now you can.
Yeah.
Lesson, if you go into your settings, you need to shut off your geographical targeting and check your kids' stuff too. So that's my...
The little PSA.
That's my...
in the show.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You want to give them the
free
website
information.
for tickets?
So to get tickets for Kyle Cease, March 25th, 6 p.m., it's PensacolaSanger.com or Ticketmaster.com. And the best place to get them is at the box office, but please don't wait till the last minute. Get them in advance.
Can I give out the code for Powerful Women?
Yeah.
Sure.
So if you go to the Ticketmaster website and use the code PWGC, it will give you a special discount.
Perfect.
For all you thrifty
I'll put that when we repost today too.
Awesome.
It's not available on the $19 ticket.
Okay. So $29. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. It'll get you close to it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's
means
it.
You get better seats cheaper.
So we think next week we're hoping, praying that Kyle's going to have time.
Hopefully. I'll follow up when I get done here. I sent the request in 2 days ago. I haven't heard anything, but send me a map.
He's busy. We'll see.
Yeah.
If not, we'll just force him when he comes in.
You can make a cutout, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, that would be funny.
We'll just sit him next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be. Yeah, we should do that.
Kyle.
Do that.
You could almost make the poster and cut out the mouth, and Keith could stand behind it and like
I could
do the
Speak from
old.
the heart. That's it.
Yeah. You're gonna have to do some
Actually,
hair.
I just make a hand.
Yeah, there you go.
We're gonna do that next
Yeah,
week if we don't get them.
That'll
I'm
work.
serious. That would be funny.
That would be great.
That
Okay,
would be funny.
so we're good, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so
Thanks
we'll
for
talk to you
tuning
guys
in,
next
y'all.
week.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Keith.
You're welcome.
Hot Chef.
All right, I want to thank everybody for listening today. My name's Keith Hilbert. This has been Pensacola Business Radio. You can find us at Picola Radio X on Twitter, Picola BRX on Facebook. You can find us on LinkedIn at businessradioxstudios.pensacola, or you can find us on Instagram at Pensacola Business Radio, or on our websites at businessradiox.com, or on our live feed at businessradiox.live. If you are interested in being a guest on Business Radio X, please visit either one of our sites or our social media sites to find a link to book your appearance. This has been Pensacola Business Radio, where business is good and your work matters.